1320 WILS, your morning wake up. I always like talking here with the CEO of ZIGLAR International, Michael Ray Newman. He's always the voice of common sense and uncommon great ideas when it comes to leadership out there. And I really want to get his take on this. When a CEO of a major company like GrubHub.com, they do the food delivery online, the CEO sends out an email and suggests to all of his employees that if they agree with President-elect Donald Trump's campaign rhetoric, I guess it didn't say if you voted for him, but if you agree with his campaign rhetoric, whatever that means and ever how wide a net that is, you ought to just up and resign. Is this a good idea for a leader of a company to do? Well, let's find out. Michael Ray Newman is on the other end of our line. Good morning.
Good morning, brother. Always great to talk with you.
I appreciate you being here, and I know you'll have a take on this because, hey, look, if you're talking to your employees, I think politics is going to be frequently, and/or religion, and/or, unless you're a religious company, is going to be a bit of a third rail. But if you tread into there, tread lightly. This guy, Matt Malone, did not tread very lightly, did he?
No, sir. Unfortunately, he did not.
What's your?
That he's going to. He might regret it.
Do you think might is? Put quotes around that. Do you think he's already? Well, look. I mean, as a CEO, you're entitled to your opinions too, and I guess you hope that the people in your company working for you reflect the values, the mission, all of the above, the masthead. If you're like in media, the newspaper, but to say, and if you don't, I mean, that's kind of an ultimatum that I don't know how that brings people together.
Well, we have two customers that we deal with when you're CEO. You have your external customers, the people that come to you, which is he's very much alienated them, and also the people that internally, our employees, are our customers. And remember this: 20% of people, it says in this article, went to him and said that's a great. They appreciated it. Well, there's 80% that didn't say anything. No matter what side they're on, they're taken aback by it. And in this culture, right in this state that we're in right now, just coming out of this depression or recession, companies are thriving again. We're trying to create culture, and he really is messing with the culture. And Matt is a young guy. He invented this app. He was dubbed the CEO. It's not like he's trained to be there. It's not like he has any formal training. And what we're doing right now as a nation, we're reacting instead of responding. And let me tell you exactly it's a good example of this. If you go to the doctor, he says, if you go to the doctor and the doctor says, ooh, you're having a reaction to the medicine, that's negative. But if you go to the doctor and they say your body's responding to the medicine, that's positive. And reaction is always emotional outwardly. And that's what we're doing as a nation right now. We're reacting. And also remember this: the minority that come down on the minority always are the loudest. And right now, that's what we're having in our country. We have a very small few that are very loud right now because they're upset. They're reacting. They're not responding. And that's kind of what happened to Matt.
It just seems like to me, and that I appreciate the way you distinguish, Michael Ray, between those two things, because they're not. That's not just semantics. That's a different way of looking at those words and what they truly mean, how they apply in this situation. But I think, right now being a CEO, that's a tough job anyway. It gets a lot of negative. CEOs, their income has increased versus the rest of. And I get that too. I'm not downplaying that, but for people who think it's generally an easy job, try walking in those shoes. I don't think it is, and I don't have to have done that to know. Just like I don't know if I drop my pen, that's gravity. I know it's there. I get it, and I think it's hard. But part of that is walking that minefield when you have a very, very, I guess, rocky mood in the country right now, and keeping things on the even keel and positive with your employees. Like you said, if 80% of your people aren't coming to you saying, boss, you did the right thing, don't just assume their silence is them agreeing with you.
That's right. And it starts at the family, too. Think about this. And I have a couple of millennials, and plus I have much younger as well. But we had a meeting. I mean, it wasn't like they were having a family meeting, but we got together and they were just kind of talked about it. They expressed why are people acting, this is craziness after the election. And as me as a CEO of my household and as my company, so I have multiple companies too, we had conversations, and that's what they have to do. The speed of the pack is determined by the speed of the leader, and if you come in wheels off and reactionary opposed to responding, I just said let's take a step back, take a big deep breath, and understand this: we've flourished, we've been successful, we've made it through no matter who's in office. That's what's going to happen now. We're not going to focus on them because we can't control them. We can control what we can do, guys. Keep moving forward, keep taking the right steps, and let's really take a chance to reflect on what we appreciate and what we have right now.
Also, do you think that, Michael Ray, that CEOs can dictate and with as an authority figure human nature either? I mean that's
no.
Oh, it's really it's pushing it out there, that what you can affect and what you can't. He went on in this email and said, look, if you don't agree with the statement I just made, then please reply to my email with your resignation, because you have no place here. We do not tolerate hateful attitudes on our team. And so even somebody who maybe said, I voted for Donald Trump, but I don't believe I'm in the hateful category. I had my reasons, but they don't match what you just said. You've kind of put them in, a rock and a hard. What would if you could speak to this guy, Matt Malone, what would you tell him? Coach him up now. What would you tell him?
First of all, I would talk about the reaction and responding.
Right.
And I would talk about his external and internal customers and what line we're stepping up on. And he is the leader. The speed of the pack is determined by the speed of the leader. But here's the advice I'd probably give him, which is exactly what I tell my young parents that have kids in Little League. Always exercise the 24-hour rule. And if you think little Johnny's not getting enough playing time, you want to go talk to the coach, just wait 24 hours. Just sleep on it. And then when you get up in the morning, see how you feel. Let's reassess how you feel. That's just good common sense that your granny told you, right?
Yeah, no kidding. It's like somebody who comes up with a great idea if they're out with some friends and they've had maybe drank a few pops. Sounds like a great idea. Tomorrow we're gonna. And then the next day, someone, hey, the thing you were talking about last night. What thing? Well, da da da. Oh, okay. No, I don't think we're going to do that. That's probably not a real good idea.
It sounds good as I thought it was.
Yeah, give it just let it percolate, let it germinate, and if it doesn't germinate, it might not have been such a great idea after all. But I think that's good advice. And you know what? By the same token, Michael Ray, if he tells you, "Yep, I stand by that 100%," and I want you, then you basically at that point you say, "Okay, vaya con Dios." I mean, good luck with that overall. You've dug in, but I can't think that this is an attractive trait with a leader of an organization. It is his company. I assume this is not a publicly traded company, or this wouldn't be happening. They would have a new CEO awfully fast. But
yes, they would. And that's exactly right. And understand this too. The speaking and training industry that I'm in is a $70 billion industry in the United States alone, and it's up 20% last year, and we're training leadership. That's what the bump is, because what's happened in the recession, and now that companies are thriving again, that the leaders were put into roles too early. So they're coming back, and they're asking for the leadership and asking for the good common sense roles. You said it earlier about we don't talk religion and politics in the workplace. Somehow that's been forgotten over the years. Those unwritten rules and those common sense rules are not there anymore. So that's what we're training a lot of, and you're right on point with everything you said this morning. Well,
and I appreciate you coming on, giving it straight. Maybe you'll get a phone call at some point, and to paraphrase, it's going to be like that. It's going to be like Bradley's phone call there at the end of The Hangover when he's calling, the bride to be, and then they go, we blanked up. He's going to go, Michael Ray, I blanked up here. He got to help me out. And you're like, this is why I'm in a $70 billion industry. We're going to coach you up right now. Michael Ray Newman, he is.
I've had those calls, brother.
Yeah, Mike. Yeah, I know. But that phone's going to ring. I just have a feeling. Michael Ray Newman's CEO. He knows the drill on this. It's ZIGLAR International. Always appreciate you coming on.
You're great, brother. Hey, man, happy Thanksgiving and have a Merry Christmas, too, if I don't talk to you.
All right, absolutely. Same to you. This is 1320, The Morning Wake Up, WILS.